Well, hello there. I just wanted to start this video off by saying I absolutely love EDC gear, pocket knives, pocket tools, Swiss Army knives, Leatherman, you know, all this stuff, the Knipex pliers. I love all this stuff, but I think it's time for a reality check. I've done loads of videos on this sort of thing. I'm well into it, like I assume anyone watching this video is as well. I recently did a video looking at the tiny little keychain size tools, like the Victorinox 58mm line, the Leatherman Squirt PS4, the little next tool, stuff like that. And one of my regular commentators, thanks 5 Rusty Nails, you know I always appreciate your comments, commented saying, you know, these are the kind of toys, these little tools. Why would you carry one of these when you can carry a much bigger, more capable knife? But it's really got me thinking. And I've sat down and thought about, over the years, what I actually use, what I actually need. And yeah, I've had a bit of a reality check. So I wanted to talk about what you actually use and need if you're an urban dweller, if you're living in a town or city, like the vast majority of us will be, then what do you actually need for everyday carry? Like I said, I love all this stuff, and I suppose thinking about it, which I have been doing, it comes from a kind of a deep-rooted, innate desire to provide, to be prepared, to be useful, to be able to fix stuff, and to be able to solve little problems. So fundamentally, EDC for me is about having items with you that you carry all the time that you need to help you out in daily situations. Having something with you that will get you by and help you out. That's what EDC is to me. I love all this stuff. I feel like it equips me to be able to sort problems out. Great, fantastic. It's to be commended, that, isn't it, surely? I've also done another recent video talking about my EDC, the stuff I do carry, and one of those essential items is a Swiss Army knife. For some reason, I've sat down and had a real good think about, over the years, what I've used, what I need, what's been the handiest thing over the years for the average urban dweller living in a town or city. And yeah, I've had to reality check myself. This is and has been enough, and I would say is enough for most people. Day-to-day EDC tasks. I've really been thinking about, what do you use your knife blade for? What are the other little odd jobs and stuff that you encounter on a daily basis? Now, obviously, if you're a handyman or a tradesman, or you're working in a workshop, or if you're out in the countryside building survival shelters and stuff, yeah, don't just take this. This model is a manager, discontinued, but still available to buy, is the Rambler, which has all the same tools apart from the little pen. You can also still get the Midnight Mini Champ, which again has the same tools and the pen, but a little flashlight in place of the toothpick or tweezer slot. And you can still get the Mini Champ, which has all these same tools, as well as some others. I don't carry that one because I think the extra tools are superfluous. Cocaine spoon? Huh, I always snort my coke off the thighs of supermodels. So yeah, for the average urban person, this contains pretty much everything you practically need on a daily basis. If you're going out into the countryside or something, or if you're bushcrafting, yeah, take other tools with you that you might need. You wouldn't just rely on something like this, or even something like this, the Swiss Champ. But that's kind of my point. You would take with you more appropriate tools. I was a tiler for many years, and that job required specific tools. I wasn't using that Swiss Army knife to do that job. I had specific tools for that job. The little penknife that I had on my keyring most of the time as a tiler was one of these, a manager. I used to use it for sharpening my little Chinagraph pencils. I used to use this for screwing back on wall sockets and things. It was just a backup little tool. So even doing a really physical job like that, this was plenty. Everything else I needed was proper tools. Pocket pry bars and stuff. I ain't gonna be using that for prying. If I had to open crates and stuff, I'd use a big pry bar. It's a daft, you don't need them. For day-to-day, little EDC around the home, around work, around the office. This little fella, the Rambler, or the manager, or its equivalents, are just, they're pretty much perfect. I think this is the best pocket tool you can have, and I would suggest, and I'm suggesting in this video, that that's really all you need. Do any of you guys just carry one of these? And I'm perfectly happy with it. Just wanted to talk about some of the very common things that you'll come across in daily life, and why something like that is just perfect. What do you practically encounter realistically on a day-to-day basis?
I encounter a load of little screws on a day-to-day basis. Got a little
The end of the can opener can be used as a good Phillips screwdriver on other Swiss Army knives, but it's often too big. And if you've got a recessed screw, well, you've had it. But the little combo tool on the likes of the Rambler and the Manager is perfect for getting into small screws, recessed screws. I've used it thousands of times over the years. It's been a right lifesaver. Little screws are everywhere. I use this for guitar maintenance and stuff like that. Raising and lowering my pickups there. Just the ticket. It's dead versatile. It's a number 1 Phillips, but it'll fit number 2 screws like this. They're all over the place, little Phillips screws out there. You can also use it on bigger jobs requiring maybe a bit more torque. Number 2 Phillips screws there. It fits fine. Great stuff. Don't know how many shots of me doing Phillips screws I need to show you, but Phillips screws are all over the place. And this little screwdriver it's just great. Use it all the time. Perfect. The little scissors, Victorinox scissors, are the best. These small scissors are just fantastic for cutting your nails. Really precise, sharp and fine. They're excellent. Also use the little file on the flathead screwdriver to file your nails if you like. I use the scissors a fair bit, cutting labels as well, stuff like that. Just a ticket. The Manager has a little pressurised pen on it as well, which is excellent. I think it can be dead useful to carry a pen, and if you've got one of these in your pocket, you've got it with you all the time for leaving notes and stuff like that. Dead handy, that is, in my opinion. The little flathead driver there can be used for very light duty sort of prodding and prying. Just little bits and bobs you might come across. Yeah, the blade. In urban settings, you are going to be using your blade for opening, packaging, food packaging and stuff. That's what you're using your knife for. And for opening your Amazon parcels, etc. That's what I use a small blade for. This blade is plenty big enough for that. You can use it for any small sharpening object. Sharpen a pencil. Your little cutting tasks are covered with this tiny 1.3 inch blade. The little flathead driver is tiny, but I've used it a lot for doing stuff like this. Tightening little sockets back onto walls and things. Quite useful. A little metal proddy tool as well. You get a toothpick on these little tools. Use it for doing your teeth. Getting chunks of food out there is excellent as well because it's soft and flexible plastic for cleaning out your phone's charging port that gets filled with fluff and lint. I normally carry mine on a little pocket dangler type thing, making it really easily accessible. You just slide it into your pocket, clips on there, it's out the way, takes up no room. Great. The Manager weighs 30 grams or 1 ounce, and as I say, realistically, it's probably all you need. I need to talk specifically about knife blades. It's a pocket knife. For me, the primary tool, one of mankind's most useful and oldest tools, is a knife blade. This blade is about 1.3 inches long or 33 millimeters, fairly soft but dead easy to sharpen, corrosion resistant steel. It is perfectly adequate for my daily cutting needs. In your average daily urban settings, I don't know about you, and your mileage may indeed vary, but around town, I'm not going to be gutting fish, I'm not going to be skinning a deer, I'm not going to be carving an ornate bedstead, I'm not battening logs and building a survival shelter, I'm certainly not going into combat. What I'm doing with my blade, be it on this or one of my bigger knives, is I'm opening packaging. That's what I use a knife blade for in daily situations. I'm either opening food packaging, I may occasionally have to cut a little bit of string or something. I'm going to be opening me Amazon parcels. That's it. That blade's perfectly adequate. It's more than enough. I might have to sharpen an occasional pencil. That's it. For those other tasks discussed, use a more appropriate knife. You might well be able to gut a fish with this, sure, if you really had to. And if you want to carry a skinning knife, yeah, go for it. Or if you're using a skinning knife, yeah, do it. Use more appropriate tools. It helps me out for my day-to-day. What this knife can't do compared to its bigger Swiss Army knife brethren is it can't open tins of food. I can't open bottles of wine that are corked. Can't really pry open things like paint can lids and stuff like that. I can't saw wood. I can't tackle great big, really stubborn screws, and it hasn't got pliers. But none of those things are stuff I need to do on the daily. And if I'm around town and I do need to do those things, I've got easy access to those things, either at my house or elsewhere close by. So yeah, I've kind of epiphanied myself. So what do you think? I really don't, I'm not making this video to ruffle feathers. Like I say, I'm well into this stuff. But yeah, if I'm being really real with myself, that's all you need. Innit though? Give me some feedback and let's have a chat about it. If I was out and about and the zombie apocalypse did start, well then if I'm in town, I will just get myself home and grab my zombie destroying gear and bug out bag, or I'll break into a hardware store or something and keep myself out there. This is enough for the real world. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching this one, and may the seed of your loins be fruitful in the belly of your woman.